This podcast is not rated. Listener discretion advised.
Mission 215.
Welcome to the mission.
Let's do this.
250.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
welcome to
What?
the mission.
Already?
Filmcast. John, take it away.
All right, let's go. Now.
Now you're supposed to say stuff.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, no. You,
That's
you
the
start
intro.
us
I
off,
like
Denny.
it.
No, you go ahead. You start us off, Denny. Go ahead.
This is a podcast where we talk about
whenever
movies.
you're ready. I mean, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead now. Now.
And this week we're going to watch the... Oh, I thought you were going to interrupt me again. I wasn't ready to keep going.
No, I'm just going to laugh. No, you go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, jeez.
You're doing great.
We watch
You're doing
movies, the best movies ever made. And now,
Daddy, I'm sorry.
this
That
week...
sucks. I'm sorry he's such a prick.
Why does John have to be such an asshole? Just because he's sick doesn't mean he can be a prick.
I was telling you you're doing good. If you don't want to hear how good you're doing, that's fine. Can't
Hey,
take
John,
a
why don't you
compliment.
tell everyone?
It's not my
Guess-
problem.
Are you healthy or sick?
What do you think? What are the odds?
Flip a coin.
Like
and
50-50. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Flip a coin. It's going to land on heads no matter
it's
what.
gonna be
He's
sick. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know where to start. We're going to watch a movie this week, like every week. And this
Yeah.
week, we're going to watch an old one. And this particular one is called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It was made in 1939. It was directed by Frank Capra, and the synopsis is, a naive man is appointed to fill a vacancy in the United States Senate. His plans promptly collide with political corruption, but he doesn't back down. And this week, it is John's turn
Johnny boy.
to go first.
Go ahead, John. John.
What?
Go ahead, John.
Oh,
John?
can I talk now?
You talk-
I'm not to make
John-
you mad if I talk now?
John? You there?
Oh, am I? Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know.
This is terrible.
Suddenly, this
John,
is hard.
anytime you want to go, it's fine.
like now?
This is so now we know what happens when we record on a Friday.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a sip
From
of
the
beer
week.
yet.
It has
Yeah.
been a long week.
All right, John, let's hear it.
Okay.
Anytime,
Mr.
John.
Smith goes. What?
Well timed, Denny.
Yeah.
Well timed.
Yeah. All right. Mr.
Whenever you
Smith
want to
goes
start, it's
Washington.
fine.
I don't know why this is so funny, but it's,
I don't know.
it's making me
Working
tear
as
up
hard
over
as
here.
we can to make this not flow at all.
Yeah.
Just throw ourselves right in front of the other person so they trip.
Oh, shit, man. I'm telling you.
It's like
All
one of
right.
those old movies where people like roller skate downstairs and they're almost falling the entire time, but they don't quite do it.
Yeah.
Like that. All right. I won't do anything. Go, John. Go for it.
Really?
I'm serious this time.
All right. I like this. This was good. I was surprised by how relevant it seemed and disturbed. Jimmy Stewart was great, I thought, and that's his defining role in a way. It's like made him a star. I mean, he was known before. He was contracted with the MGM before all this happened. So I like the characters. There were some good, funny moments in this. I mean, starting with when the mayor gets chewed out by his kids for not having a spine.
Oh, my God. How funny was that?
I thought that was pretty damn funny. Yeah, I thought that was just, that whole scene was set up pretty well, and there's a lot of well orchestrated parts in this film, like having like those 4 different kids have to like pitch in the way they did to attack their dad. Even that was around a dinner table,
And they're all
that was
standing up at
impressive.
different times to like
Yeah.
get in his face.
Right, that was an impressive scene when
Yeah.
you think about like what it must have taken to pull that off. Because
Lots of
that
cuts.
was. Yeah, and again, the film's been restored, so there's a lot of times where you feel like, not a lot of times, it happened like, I don't know, maybe 5, where you feel like there was missing film, like it just jerked into it, and maybe that was in the original release, I don't know, but it just like jerks, like it feels like there was a bit of film missing and it had been taped together, so that was a little distracting.
I
at
would guess
times.
it's probably just old movies.
Yeah, that's true
Splicing
too.
together. Some.
Would you rather have
But-
jerky edits, John, or the weird color fades and then transition? You know, you can see like the camera just like snap, but it's the same thing, but it gets all light, and then you can see it like move into another shot
Right.
or something.
Yeah, that's no fun either. So other than that, I think the film seemed, the shots that they did were quite impressive. Like the Senate scenes were really impressive. The way they filmed it, and you read about Capra said that it was sort of new for the time to have multiple cameras and lighting setups all at once running. And so that's what they did to sort of, so they wouldn't have to like, normally I guess especially back then, you had this massive amount of gear that you'd have to move around anytime you wanted to like change the shot. So the lights, the sound, everything was like huge. So it would be like, a massive effort if you had to like shift anything around. So that was really impressive. I liked the characters. I liked, the girl who was the office assistant and I liked the style of it. I liked her buddy, the drunken reporter who was always wanting her to marry him. I thought I liked just those dynamics were just entertaining, and just how dark this film is, and how somebody could be potentially ruined by somebody else who has a lot of power. And I thought that was well done. It was believable, and I think that it was chilling and scary because that sort of thing can happen nowadays. With there's a lot of big business controlling the media. Or certain aspects, certain media outlets are very much controlled, and they can really ruin somebody if the setting is right. And that's kind of amazing. It's amazing that this was the 30s, and this doesn't seem dated. I guess some parts of it seem a little theatrical or whatever. There were no flinging cries though. No, I didn't count on one of those.
No women crying, all men crying.
No, yeah.
Well, Saunders cries a little bit.
Does she
tears up. She doesn't really cry. She tears up.
Right.
With like happy tears towards the end, or
she had some sad ones.
She didn't have the full on snot coming out of the nose like Mr. Stewart did over there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess they really messed him up. They were swabbing his throat with mercury or something like that. Something bad.
Mercuric chloride.
Whatever. Yeah. It just so that he would sound as awful as he did. He did that part really well. I was even at first and it just might be our times, but I was moved to see the pictures of the founding fathers and to hear the talk of, the Declaration of Independence. I found that really moving. Maybe I'm a sap, and maybe it just seems like it's just, I don't know. It used to be for example, the Republicans all the time would talk about the founding fathers and the rule of law and all that stuff. That's not even bothered with now.
No, no.
But I thought it was moving. Even the words, hearing the words. I know it was a little corny, but just the him being at the Lincoln Memorial and seeing people being affected by it. I was affected by it. I thought, and there's just a lot of it. There's an amazing heritage that we have. There's certainly very dark parts of it, awful parts of it, as we know from last week's movie. Yeah. But there's also some amazing things and some very, very brilliant people that were trying to do good things. And I don't know. It was moving to me, and it was hopeful to see that. I like that. So the film was very dark. I think it really ended abruptly compared to
for a good reason. I can tell you about that later.
Yeah. Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't the original ending.
I didn't mind it at all.
I heard about that. Yeah. I mean, but I was still man, I would have liked to kind of know. Even the attempted suicide by the other senator was just all happened so fast.
Did you understand that? I thought he was just smashing the lights out in the hallway.
Oh,
is that? I thought that's what he was doing too.
I thought it was guns. No, I thought it was
so
gunshots.
Unclear. I even watched it the second time with the commentary, and I was like, "What is he doing right here?" And it's just you hear loud bangs. I'm like, "All right, it sounds like it's gunshots," but then it cuts to him. Right. And it's just he's being pinned against the wall and his hand smashes into a light. I'm like, right. What the fuck is going on?
He's saying, I don't deserve to live, right? So.
Oh, I just thought he was having a freak out.
Yeah, same.
I didn't know he was
Yeah. I wasn't sure, but I thought it wasn't I thought it was gunshots. So I thought the sound was gunshots. And then
I thought he was just freaking out like a little kid does when they're upset because mom won't give him soda or something.
Right.
I don't know where that came from, but
I don't know either.
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
All I wanted was a Coke, Ma. Fuck off.
Bang. No, Jimmy. Anyway.
So a good film. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised at how good I thought this was
surprised.
And how relevant it is. People should see this.
Yeah,
You're surprised.
100%. TC, it sounds like TC liked it.
I fucking love this movie.
Yes.
I fucking loved this movie.
Oh my God.
Could not take my eyes off the fucking screen. The story was fantastic.
Great.
Unbelievably fantastic. Literally my last note is fantastic fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
wow. You like movies. You like
I liked an old movie. I was like, I liked an old movie.
This is an old movie too, man. It's like 80 years
super old.
And
it didn't feel
like Jimmy Stewart running down the street. I like an old movie.
Oh man, I'm a huge fan of James Stewart now, and Jean Arthur is a beautiful, strong woman.
Yes.
This fucking movie was so good. I was like blown away. I mean, also, I think maybe it's just like politics is an easy thing to watch because we're like consumed by it all the time.
Yeah, now we are.
These days, and it's just like it's always on our minds. So like this was, and then like you said, John, totally agree with you. Relevance. It's like that stuff's still going on. How these people act to
and
each other.
It's crazy to think like now we think it's all corrupt, but then this is 80 years old and the same shit was going on. So it's
going
like,
on then.
Have we fixed anything? What is this country? Why is it like this?
I mean, Ross, this is a fucking great movie. I don't know what else to say, but everyone else should see this movie. And the fact that we weren't watching this movie in fucking class and we're watching fucking Citizen Kane, I don't get it. All right? I don't fucking get it.
Deep focus shots, TC. That's why. Gotta deep focus.
Don't care. Don't give a shit. Fuck off.
Yeah, this movie doesn't call attention to itself. Like, hey, look at how cool we are or whatever. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be artistic, and yet there's a lot of craftsmanship in it.
I don't know. You don't think those wide shots of the Senate set are like pretty incredible?
All right, fair enough.
They were pretty incredible.
But I thought they were incredible, but it just felt natural too.
Yeah, it didn't seem flashy, I guess. It seemed more like,
that's the word.
Like C-SPAN or something if you were watching it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, everything about, and I don't know what to say. I'm like, at a loss for words.
You're gobstrucked. You're lost.
This fucking movie was so good. The worst actor, however, in the film was the president.
Yes. He got a nomination for an Academy Award for that.
That was so bad.
Yeah.
What was he doing up there?
Dude, he was making eyes at Jimmy Stewart. He was flirting with him, blinking his eyes and giving him little smirks.
Giggling and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what? This isn't a giggle moment. You shouldn't be giggling.
Yeah, I didn't understand his character either. I have a bunch of negatives in this movie, but I agree. It was great. Like when it was over, I was like, that was fucking great.
Was he? He was like he's a sport. Harry Carey is like a sportscaster. He's like a news guy.
No, different Harry Carey.
Or is that a different Harry Carey?
Yeah. You're thinking about the guy that Will Ferrell used to spoof on SNL.
Oh.
Yeah. No, this is a different Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Cubs win.
I had no idea. I thought there was one Harry Carey because.
I thought the same thing, to be honest, when they started the commentary. It's like Harry Carey as the president.
Like
Harry Carey. Oh. Yeah, not
Did you guys notice that like Daniel Day-Lewis kind of rips off the whisper scene in There Will Be Blood quite a bit? The way he delivers his whisper and then scream.
Who does that? Who else does
Daniel
that?
Day-Lewis copies that. Like I feel like he was influenced from the scene where he's like out of James Stewart has completely like lost his voice.
Oh,
and he's still trying to speak.
Wow.
And he's like, it's just like, all I could hear was Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood.
Speaking to Daniel Day-Lewis, like,
yeah.
He had his throat swallowed too.
Underneath our feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, holy shit, that is definitely where Daniel Day-Lewis got that from.
Huh.
I mean, I felt like it, but I don't know.
I mean, there are a lot of other parallel, like this movie. I don't know if you guys are extremely familiar with It's a Wonderful Life. I've seen that movie probably 30, 40 times.
We're going to watch this one too, right?
We are.
We're going to watch that one too.
Yes,
right?
but are you guys like super familiar with it or no?
No, I've only it's like occasionally on for some reason.
I will point out when we watch it, there are sets that are the exact same, characters that play the exact same character, multiple characters, same camera angles on the sets. It's crazy.
It's the same director.
Oh, wow. Same director, yeah. I mean, Jimmy Stewart's in that one. The guy who plays Dez in this is Uncle Billy in It's a Wonderful Life, and he's also a drunk.
Nice.
The character that plays,
he's a good drunk.
He's a good drunk. Yeah. I think it's Jimmy Stewart's mother in this movie, who has the Boy Scout clan.
Yeah.
She's his mother in It's a Wonderful Life, and the house where they go where they're playing band practice is his house in It's a Wonderful Life. And that fence outside is the same. The outside of the house is the exact same. The only thing they changed was the sign for like the Boy Scouts or whatever version of it was. But it was like Ma Bailey's boarding house in It's a Wonderful Life. It's just weird because I've never seen this movie. And I was like, what the fuck? That's from It's a Wonderful Life. That's the exact same thing. I've seen this movie 100 times.
Well, maybe he goes back. After he's a senator, he goes back and gets into banking.
Possibly. But the weirdest thing about it is this movie was made on the opposite side of World War II than It's a Wonderful Life.
Huh.
So that set survived World War II.
Oh, you're right. Because It's a Wonderful Life came after it. And that was another part of like the historical setting of this movie. Like this was right before World War II, or right when, so
Yeah, this movie was like
all that's
instant
going on.
banned in a lot of European countries.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, banned in a lot of countries, pretty much like Russia and like, Germany and.
Interesting. You'd think like on one hand it shows the American system is corrupt, so you'd think maybe they'd want to like allow that to play.
No, but then you can see that the people win. The people win.
Right, I know they win in the end, but really the majority
Right.
of
You don't
it
want
is
the people
is
to
the
win.
Senate
Right.
being terrible and corrupt. Yeah, maybe you could just like
It's motivational, isn't it? Like I kind of
guess
want to do
so.
something after this.
He could
Like,
have just showed it and stopped it like right before the last 10 minutes or something, and been like, and then he loses because the American system is corrupt and evil.
and then Mr.
Yeah.
Smith gets shot in the head. Can you just
Wow,
let
you
us
might wanna
watch it?
cut
No, that
that.
is how it ends. You gonna edit it out? Why?
I don't know. It's
a good Nazi impression?
Yeah, it's a good Nazi impression. It's kind of funny. Okay, maybe we'll let it pass. I think the censors will
Yeah,
let it go.
nobody likes Nazis, right?
No, it's not
That's
a German.
fair.
That's my Nazi impression, specifically.
And Nazis
Nazi.
are okay these days. I don't know. I mean, hell.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I guess
Only
if
to
you're
a
in
third
Virginia.
of this country, John. That's not the majority yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
God damn it, politics. All right, as much as I love this movie, I'm fucking pissed off we have to watch so much political stuff in a row.
Well, we just happened to watch the other one on purpose, and now we're seeing this one.
Yeah, but then we watched like All the President's Men recently, which is similar.
Right.
I thought it was
That's
kind
what I
of.
meant. We just happened to like want to watch that one.
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
purpose, but like
Right.
didn't really
Right.
think about like
That's true.
what are the ones surrounding them.
Right.
Next, because I noticed that too. I was like, wow, we're on a tangent of like politics for sure.
I had no idea this is what was going to happen in this film. I thought it was going to be like, maybe the country bumpkin goes to Washington and does good or something, but I had no
Right.
idea it was going to be.
That is what happens,
like-
John. That is what happens.
True.
Yes, but I had no idea what it was. What it really was about is corruption and how pervasive it can be and how it can be used to twist people.
And it's about love.
and destroy people. I mean, but that to me, still the most impactful parts of it were just the power of these of money and corruption, and how I bought the portrayal of the senator turning against his father's his friend's son. I bought it.
I
And
wish we
that
got
was-
more behind that because I almost didn't.
Yeah.
Like I went
Yeah.
along with it because I was like, fine. I give a lot. I don't know. It's old, but like I wanted more. Like, why did he do that? It doesn't give you
I
why
also
he did
think
it.
they had a little bit of a foreshadow there because I think he slept with the wife.
His father's
that guy.
wife.
Oh,
Yeah,
What?
because she said when she looked at him, I could have sworn she said I love you, and then he was like, you too.
What?
Like when they saw each other, they had a moment when like he figured it
Really?
out and he looked over at the mother and he was like, oh shit, that's her. And then she looked at him and then gave him little eyes, and then he looked back and gave like a whisper, and then looked at the boy and was like, oh shit.
What?
And then I was thinking this
Really?
guy might be just a scumbag, and then he turned out to be.
Yeah, but he was apparently initially. He had like a good part of him because he came clean
he
at
was
the
he
end.
was working. He was working
Well,
with his dad.
But he was also working with his, wasn't he like, when he started his career, he decided he was going to be corrupt, right?
I don't
Isn't
think
that
so.
what they
I
said?
didn't
Yeah,
get
that's what
that
he
either.
said. When he was talking to him in the room.
No, he was just saying he had to make some
He had
sacrifices
to make a
for
decision.
the greater good.
But it was then,
Yeah.
though. It was back then. It was 20
Yeah.
years ago at the beginning of his career. He made that choice at the beginning.
This has never happened before. TC's telling us plot points in the movie. This is fucking blowing my mind, and I don't know what to say.
That's how I saw it. I don't know.
Good on
You're
you,
probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, the first half of this movie, I wasn't fully on board. It seemed kind of cheesy. The love story stuff, I didn't like. It was totally predictable. I was like, as soon as
Yeah.
his secretary was on the screen, he's like, I bet. And like he has the other scene
Love
with like
interest.
the
Here we
hot
go.
one. I'm like, he's gonna fall in
Yeah.
love with
Right.
his secretary because she's helping him out, of course.
Right.
Right.
And it's gonna be this
I
like
would too,
predictable
though.
arc.
She's so much better than the other
I
one.
know she was better
Right.
looking too. So I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't even understand that other part.
Smarter, more fun,
that's
better
fair.
looking. Come on.
It's hard to understand
No
how
brainer.
bumbling he was in front of one girl, but not the other.
Hilarious
Yeah.
scene by the way.
Oh,
With
that
the
was
hat.
good too. With
Yeah.
with the hat.
The
That
hat
was a
thing,
great
I was
shot.
laughing
That was
pretty
a
hard
great
the
shot.
entire time.
Yeah, see, I was paying a fucking attention, guys. That's what I was doing.
That's crazy.
Good for you, man.
It's a good
For
thing
once
too.
in your life.
We got a silent movie next week. Oops, I said it too early.
Oh, anyways, so
Anywho.
Hey,
it's a shame what
it's-
happened to Terrence today.
Yeah. So wait, he tried to kill himself. Does he bring a gun with him into the Senate?
Yeah, where did he get the gun from?
I
From
don't
some
know.
like an
It's-
officer or something?
I don't know. In case of suicidal thoughts, break class. There was one out in the hallway. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they didn't show that. So how would any of us know?
They mentioned one thing in the commentary, which is hilarious. The guy who did the commentary track, totally worth watching, by the way, was Frank Capra Jr., the guy's son, the director's son.
Oh, nice.
He had a lot of really good information. One of the funny things, kind of on top of what we were just talking about, was the clock in the Senate set he talked about for a little bit. Because in the real Senate, they had to have locks on the clock because people would go and mess with the actual time so they could get out early.
Whoa.
And also they would hide it. So like they would leave and then they would hide in closets and other places. So when they called everyone back for a vote, they would be hidden and they couldn't vote without everybody there. So it would like prevent votes. So that's when they had to actually create the rule where if you don't show up, then everyone can vote without you. So it's not necessarily a benefit.
Right.
Okay.
So you just lose your vote.
Right.
But that was because adult men who were running the country are hiding in closets to avoid
And you
votes.
wonder why they're corrupt, too.
Yeah.
Like, they're fucking hiding in closets on purpose
This is
to
real.
avoid a vote.
There's like a whole list of things, just like how these people would fuck around in the Senate, just trying to like get out early and skip votes, like fucking children.
Fucking assholes.
Crazy. And
That's
this was
fucked up.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Oh, it's a lot better now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any
Yeah.
like conflicting feelings? I have conflicting feelings, especially after watching Black Klansman with movies like these, because it makes you feel, like you said, John, it's like we have a great history. And then you're like, wait a minute, do we? You know, they're just like,
Well, we have a great political history, not so much a human history.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, even there's a lot
Because like
of,
the idea of the government is fucking awesome,
yeah,
right?
and I
Like,
love this
if it
country.
works perfectly,
Yeah.
if it works perfectly, it's great.
The idea of democracy, the idea of I don't know, of human rights, of liberty, and the ideas of justice for all, and
But I guess, Denny, what you're saying is it's human rights as long as you're white.
right. As long as
Yeah.
you're white, as long as you're straight
Right.
white.
But even like
Right.
Jimmy Stewart towards the end said like whatever race, creed, or whatever. He said like something
No,
like
I
that.
know.
And you're like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
in a room full of old white men. It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
working. Do you not like? I don't know.
Right.
No, I agree. It's still a mixed sort of message, but there's still I don't know. You could try to take those ideas for what they are, and if you apply it to everybody, they're very inspiring. But yeah, you know, it's only slowly. I don't know. Maybe we're going backwards now, but the idea of like regardless of sexual orientation or color of skin or gender, and for a while it was, you know, the women were also quite discriminated against.
Right.
So yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of like so that idea kind of makes me like the movie more because the general tone of what it is kind of equal to that, where like all these rules that his idols put in place, he thought it was because it was like to be used by good people to do good things.
Right.
But he's like realizing that the rules were made to try and prevent power hungry assholes who always exist from doing whatever they want. And you need like good people coming from underneath with a lot of other people who aren't into politics, who aren't necessarily in it to like get a bunch of power. They just want to live their lives, but they're being fucked over by the small percentage, but like hugely powerful dickheads who run the world, which apparently always exist. Those people seem to be everywhere, right? Like forever through history. And the rules are just kind of a guideline, or like not a guideline, but like a rule set to adhere to, that they tried to prevent those people from completely turning whatever into a dictatorship again or something. I don't know. You guys know what I mean, though? Did I just ramble?
Yeah, I know. It's fair.
No,
I mean,
it's a difficult.
no,
it's a difficult thing to say. But I was trying to say the same thing.
Oh.
So
You probably did, and I'm probably just repeating it and trying to take credit for myself.
yeah, that's fine.
I got a lot of
Yeah.
trivia, but I don't know if you
Let's
guys...
go.
You want to do trivia now?
Unless you want to do other stuff. I thought, what did you think of the drunk scene where they were both drunk and talking, the secretary and the reporter? I thought it was good. That was a good drunk scene.
oh, yeah, it was
they
okay.
played drunk pretty good. It wasn't like over the
Yeah.
top.
Now, she was a bit
You think so?
sometimes. Yeah, a little bit, but, you know, because I get drunk so often. I know,
You're a pro.
you know, got that one down.
I was
Oh.
grossed out by all of the oysters they were eating.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like oysters.
Yeah, I don't either. And she just like sits down, doesn't order anything. The guy gives her like 15 oysters. Like, here's a plate of gross little snot creatures for yourself.
That's such a good way to put it, though. That's such a good way to put it. That's so right. That's exactly what they are. Snot creatures. Ugh.
Oh man, that's great.
That's good,
Oh,
Denny.
man.
You're gonna have to call it. We should
Yeah,
just call
yeah.
this episode "The Snot Creature."
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh man, it sounds like a bad horror movie.
Yeah, what
I
kind
know,
of what kind of food that people actually like? Everybody who likes it puts horseradish on it. Like horseradish covers the flavor
the
of
way,
everything.
Well, no.
How
you
good
can
was
totally
that when
disguise
she
it. It's
said
good.
that? Horseradish. Horseradish.
Yeah, you put the
Horseradish.
horseradish, you put the Tabasco sauce. Sometimes there's a little bit of other stuff, and then you can't taste it at all.
Right.
So
That's
what's
the point.
the
How
point?
good is it? Just eat the Tabasco sauce. Be an idiot. Who
Yeah,
cares?
I don't know. It's just the experience is still kind of fun. That's all.
Is
That's all
it?
I got to say. Yeah, I like it.
You like it when you're drunk and you're like, all right, this is kind of like, jumping off a 20-foot
Bring out
cliff.
the sea urchin. Bring out the I know.
It's like
You're
it's
really
not
drunk,
too
you're just
dangerous,
gonna-
but like you still get a little bit of adrenaline, so you do it
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Living on the edge, man. Living on the edge.
I mean, I can go through my notes, but I don't really have that much.
Well, I thought. What? Anything else from the commentary?
I got a bunch from the commentary, but I'm gonna.
Well, what's wrong with talking about the commentary?
I don't know, because once we get to the commentary, we can never go back.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a dark place of no return, is it?
Yeah.
Don't go to the commentary. Go to the commentary, Carol Ann. Go to the commentary.
Waiting and waiting. And
I'm not even reading my
waiting.
notes anymore. I'm just listening to John giggle in the background.
Sorry.
TC, I imagine you were super into the love story.
I was absolutely into the love story. You kidding me?
I
I was
thought
like,
it was good.
I was like,
liked
when
it,
do I
yeah.
get a girl like this that just looks at me like that?
Aw.
That you meet in random situations that just happens to be right. I
Yeah.
mean, that was great.
Well, she did a great job of being like smart, world worn sort of.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I thought
Funny, smart, fucking
Yeah.
tough. I mean, actually, it's a hell of a role for a woman in 1939. Like
Yeah.
to be written that way.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
Frank
Where
Capra
she
was
was
like
just as
a,
important as he was to the movie.
she was.
Yeah,
she
yeah,
like
that's
kept
a
him
good point,
going
yeah.
multiple
No,
times.
she was the brains too, really.
Right. Yeah. And she was the smart one and the clever one and the one paying fucking attention.
Yeah.
And he was just like the, I am positive guy. And
I'm ignorant and
I'm positive
smiling.
and dumb and this is great. And I'm going to help the boys of America.
Pretty
I
much.
fucking loved this movie. I, hit my mom. I was like, I just watched a good old movie. And she's like, which one? And I told her, and she goes, oh my God, I saw that like 5 times. And I was like, oh, you liked it too? She goes, I fucking loved that movie. I was like, all right, so I'm all right here. I'm in the right. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm not wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm not wrong here.
Because if
Yeah,
she didn't like
I'm
it,
feel-
you would have been in the wrong. That's for sure.
I would have been sitting there being like, why do I have all these feelings? I don't get it. I should hate this. I'm out of place right now. This doesn't seem
Now
right. It's
you're
1939. I'm really
I love
confused. I'm a little out of touch here. I'm not sure if I should be feeling
was
this
a
way.
moment, even like so that was a crisis of sorts. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god, I like this. Oh
movie.
my god,
help! I like a movie. I like a movie. Like that type of shit.
Go to the ER. They're like, what seems to be the problem, sir? And you're like,
I watched a
well, you see,
1939 movie.
I watched the
and
movie and it
liked
was old and I liked it. Well, that's
Yeah.
not really an issue. Well, no. So I watched
No,
a lot of
you
movies.
don't know me, man.
Describe your symptoms, sir. So the movie's black and white. And I liked it.
I feel
don't know what
happy.
that means.
Something's
I don't
wrong
know
with
what
me.
that means. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything for that? Sir, you just need to take a Valium, calm down,
it.
and maybe watch something in color. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
look over there. What?
Yeah.
Look over there. See him? See, that's Jeff. His arm is broken.
See how there's
So-
blood trickling down on the ground? If you could go have a seat somewhere else, sir, that'd be good.
You hear that
Yeah,
noise?
for real.
Beep. That guy's not doing so well.
That guy's dead.
Yeah,
That guy's dead.
He's
So,
dead. Are you
sorry for
dead?
you.
You're not dead.
You're not dead.
No,
You're
just
talking
like the
about a movie. Jesus. Take it ace.
She apparently the actress is super hard to work with.
Why?
Really? Well, she didn't like Stewart on set. Apparently, she wanted Cary Grant.
Yeah, she wanted Cary Grant. She thought Stewart was too cute in all of his scenes.
Oh, so maybe she was starting to like him during the shooting or something?
No.
It seemed obvious. Like, it seemed
Then
like
she-
really
no,
natural.
listening
She
to
is
what he said
an
about her and,
amazing
like-
actress. Then,
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a great actress.
Listening
This
to
seemed
what
natural.
the Sun said in the commentary, it's like it's one of those times where what was another movie where it's like the people really didn't get along, but you couldn't tell. 'cause-
it happened one night.
yeah, same director. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Oh, shit.
This guy's the man director. He can just like get people who hate each other and
To
make them look
act
like they're
well.
in love.
Yeah,
I mean, because it seemed like it.
yeah, and it happened one night. We thought the same damn thing. We thought they really liked each other, but no, it didn't.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy. Fucking Frank Capra, man. What a
Good
weird
shit.
guy. So I have a lot of stuff on him too. I won't go there yet, but yeah, she was hard to work with. She was apparently very shy. So like, they have to do specific things to make it so she didn't suck. Like for the long shot, I don't know what you call them, the long shots, the establishing shots, the normal shots where she's on set with a bunch of people and they're all moving around, she'd be fine. But in scenes where they'd have to go in for a close-up, those would be done later and the other actors wouldn't be there. So she had a super hard time getting into the emotions. So she would kind of suck. But what Frank Capra had to do is he had to get like a tape recorder situation going on where he got the actual live audio from the other take and play it so she could get into the pretend like the other people were there when she was acting for the close-up.
Wow.
Otherwise, she would suck.
Apparently, one thing, and I don't know if she insisted on this, but like her left side was her good side, and so they had to construct the sets.
That too.
So that she could enter that way.
Can you imagine these people? I mean, really?
Dude, I don't know. She's a movie star, right? Maybe she's right. I don't fucking know.
But like, she was good.
Jesus.
She was really good.
She was really good.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Imagine having those kind of demands though in your life that like this is what you think about. Like I think about so many things during the day, but like that's not one of them, right? Like, and I'm consumed.
But if you're an actress,
by
dude, especially back then, you're like, all right, I'm pretty good looking on both sides.
It takes a certain person to like even think like that in the first place. Like it's like acting is the only job that one can do because any other job, what are they going to be thinking about?
Right.
Not that. I mean,
models, maybe, but no, models have to be looked at all sides, I guess.
All right.
Well, or I don't know. Actually, less so. You could just sort of always be shot from that side, you know.
No, but like,
That's
what about?
true.
I guess I'm just thinking about runway models. It's not
Oh,
necessarily.
yeah.
the same
I
thing.
guess. That would be a little tougher.
Anyways, but it's interesting to me that like there's those kinds of those minds out there. It's not bad or good. It's just I just can't imagine the ego involved in having to tell a fucking director, no, sorry. Good side's on the other one.
Yeah, right.
Move the whole scene around. I'll be back tomorrow.
Darling, you're just gonna have to flip that around.
Yeah, sorry, honey. Sucks for you, director, but I'm not gonna be here until it's on the other side.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there were that many actors and actresses back then, like compared to now at least.
Oh,
Movies
true.
weren't
So
as
it's
big
like-
as they were.
So it's difficult to find. Like it's not just easily replaceable. Like this is the one woman that we need.
While they were filming this movie, do you know what the highest grossing movie of all time was?
No,
John?
Gone with the Wind.
I was going to say something
Birth of
like
a
that.
Nation. Gone with the Wind came out the same year as this movie.
Oh,
This movie
Jesus.
lost Best Picture to Gone with the Wind.
Oh.
Yeah. Got nominated for 11
Telling.
Oscars, this one.
So yeah,
Telling.
we're talking. Basically, it's the same racism.
Yeah,
is,
but I mean, so
winning
like,
out.
if you think about like there weren't blockbusters before then. There was one, and
Right.
it was 25 years before they were making this one, just about. So like movies weren't huge, so there weren't a lot of actors and actresses, and the ones that were there were probably like, I don't know, it's got to be super weird. It's got to suck to be a woman now because you always got to think about your looks, no matter like what your profession is. It's always kind of a thing. Back then, when you're a movie star in an industry with like 5 spots maybe for strong women and 1,000 people trying to do it, you're in the mirror every day. Just like, all right, I got a bit of a weird indent on my chin on this side. I'm going to only show the other side of my face.
Right. We got to do what we can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
right,
my
that's right.
career could die.
It's over.
And it might be true. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Probably not.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You can act, right? I don't know.
But she wasn't that. I mean, she came across great, and who knows how much
But
of the
she
direction
didn't
that
do
was.
very. She's not a good actor,
Right.
because
She
did
has
all
a
this
lot of
shit.
Yeah, she has a lot of stuff
Right.
you have to do to get a good performance out of her,
Right,
which has got to be
right,
annoying.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got people that are so good at tuning out what's ever around them. It doesn't matter. They can be in any moment, and they're going to be able to get into it. Yeah.
You just got to get complete psychopaths like Christian Bale on set, and he'll just
Right.
lose his mind, and you just roll camera, and you'll get a good movie.
True.
But the Harry Carey guy too also was not. I mean, it's weird because listening to Frank Capra Jr. talk about him, he was like, whenever like, all right, so there was a day towards the beginning of Harry Carey shooting where he was doing terrible. He would forget his lines. He was not playing the part, which is confusing because I didn't really see him playing the part anyway. But
There wasn't much of a part there, but
but he was doing
just sitting
really
there being
bad.
all weirdly smirky.
Yeah, he was doing really bad towards the beginning. And one day, Frank Capra went up to him at lunch, and he asked him, he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Harry Carey." And he's like, "No, you're not. You're the vice president." And he just like yelled at him for a bit and just like told him to not think about acting, but pretend like he's the vice president.
And then did he respond back like, "Hey, if you're a hot dog, would you eat yourself?" Is that what he did
That's
there?
cool. Budweiser.
That's cool. Hey, but if you were a hot dog, I don't know. I'm just saying. All right, don't do that either, President. You're the president. You're not Harry Carey. I couldn't help myself.
John, do you get that?
I mean,
Do you get that reference
No.
or no? No.
No.
All right,
Oh,
I'm going to force
Terry,
you to watch the Harry Carey
Yeah.
impersonation by Will Ferrell.
yeah, John, you're gonna laugh after when you see this. It's all gonna make sense.
It's
and you're
pretty
gonna
funny.
get a good
And you're
chuckle.
gonna think you're
I'm
stupid
excited.
for thinking this guy was the same guy as that guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry for derailing.
Oh,
that,
no problem.
it was so funny.
But yeah, apparently that like advice gave him what he needed. It seems like the dumbest advice ever. He's like, "Hey, actor, don't think of yourself as an actor. Think of yourself as the character you're playing. All right,
Yeah.
bye."
Hey, so you know what you're supposed to
Yeah,
do, right?
thanks.
As an actor, yeah,
You know
act.
your job is?
You're the
Oh, you
president.
don't? You don't know? Shit. All right,
Oh,
give me
copy.
5 seconds. I'll give you 101. Pretend
Teachable
you're the person
moment.
you're supposed to be. Okay?
Yeah,
That's it.
right. Teachable moment.
But then it worked. I mean, John, would you agree with that? That guy was kind of bad?
Oh, he's awful.
Not even like the character he was playing. Like those parts were just weird in general. If anyone else played that, it would have been weird, but he did it badly as well.
That's fair. I mean, it
Agreed.
just seemed strange. It seemed like out of place, and like you were almost seeing outtakes or something.
Right. That's
So,
yo,
yeah.
John. That's actually a really good point. That is exactly what it felt like.
Yeah,
It felt like that
he's-
wasn't during the scene. that they
No,
were
like he's
shooting.
laughing at jokes that are made or something. Yeah, it's weird.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even if they made it play into the movie better, like everybody in the Senate was
Right.
totally against Jimmy Stewart's character, but he wasn't. Why?
Even if you're on the side of Jimmy Stewart, why are you going to smirk and laugh at where the dude's clearly suffering?
Yeah, and there's
Right.
a scene where he's glaring up at the girl who's like telling him what to do. He's just staring at her, and you're like, at least pretend like you're not looking at her. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wasn't great.
Nah, he was really bad.
Yeah. I thought like all the small characters were really good too. Just even like all the faces were. I always appreciate
Yeah.
a movie where like the faces are easy to distinguish, you know?
Because they're all so different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were a lot of characters in this, and it was they did a good job. It felt like
And like half the
Yeah,
characters are old fat white men, but it was still
Right.
easy to tell which one was which.
Right.
Like, all right, that's the bald one. All right, that's the guy who's fat but has, the thick eyebrows and is not the pushy one. And then there's that huge fat one who's kind of the boss of everyone with the greasy hair.
right.
Yeah.
Would you guys like the grease hair to come back to the future style?
No.
No?
Not really. I don't care really.
The one piece of hair. It's like
Yeah.
one giant glob. Looks like an anime. Like, is that good for running your hand through? If you're a female or something? Is that
I don't
disgusting?
know. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
probably
don't know.
gross.
Does it come out like shoe polish? Is it like all tinted a color? And you rub it on your dress or whatever, and your dress has like a hand stain of brown on it or something? Do these
Ugh.
things happen?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Does anybody know?
I don't know, man.
No?
When you resurrect Jimmy
Bueller?
Stewart,
Bueller?
that's one of the other
Bueller?
things you can talk to him in depth about.
Oh,
Boy, why don't you bring me back from the dead?
John, you
Well,
should have told me this
Jimmy-
last week. I've already done it, and he had nothing
Yeah.
good to say. He was like, I was like, oh, fuck. And I broke his head off.
I just wanted
Oh,
to touch
man.
your hair, man.
It
I'm
didn't
sorry,
sound like
dude.
Jimmy at all.
Sorry, man. My bad. Go back to bed, dude. Go back to bed.
brought
You're
me
cool.
back
You're
from
cool.
my
Oh,
You're
boy.
cool. You're cool. Yeah.
So, like, this movie was one of the last Hollywood movies to be made before World War II.
Right.
And, like, Frank
Probably took a
Capra went off.
hiatus.
Yeah, Frank Capra went off to make, I don't want to call them propaganda movies, but they were like, they're not propaganda.
But you just did anyway.
I don't know. I guess, would they still be considered propaganda movies?
I don't know.
Does propaganda imply bad? They're
No,
like war
not really.
movies, kind of.
Yeah, propaganda is just, I don't think it, well, I guess it could be construed as bad.
Yeah. Well, he made war movies for the United States. So
Fucking A, right.
Yeah. And then-
America.
he made this
Build
one, and then
that
he made a bunch
wall.
of war movies, and then he made It's a Wonderful Life.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Also,
He's good.
before this one, he lost his like 1.5-year-old son to a
Oh,
routine
no.
tonsil surgery that they
Oh,
fucked up.
Jesus.
They fucked up and killed him.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awful.
I had that surgery. I'm glad it was 50 years later.
Were you
Or
a
whatever,
year and a half?
many years later. I was young. Yeah, I was young.
Really?
Maybe not 1.5 though. Nah, no way.
You wouldn't think you'd
I've
want to
been
like
like 3
cut the
maybe.
throat of a 1.5-year-old. Like wait till
Yeah,
they're
maybe 3 or 4.
That's still pretty
something
young.
Like that. Yeah. Well, I couldn't swallow.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
bad.
like, got to get them out.
But apparently that's like a pretty routine thing, even back then.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Like,
yeah, it just went wrong. So
they cut too deep or what? Like now I'm curious. What they like?
I don't know. I mean,
Oof.
yeah, they didn't say. They just said he was like devastated by it.
Oh, that's
he
brutal.
wanted to make a movie about Frederick Chopin, but
Uh-huh.
all the producers that he knew were like, you can't, like, sorry, dude, we know you really want to. You can't. That movie would be way too expensive.
Oh.
And I don't know why it would be too expensive. I assume like the music halls and things like that, right? I don't know.
Oh, as far as a location thing, I have no idea.
As far as like sets or something, it seems like Magic. What was it? The golden years of Hollywood were all sets, no matter how big they were. They would just build it.
it's how they are now too. Really, even
Is it?
when they do even when they do location stuff, a lot of the internal stuff is still in sets. So like,
right.
you might be shooting outside for a scene, but as soon as you're inside, you're back in that stage.
But they would never like build. I don't know, like the Coliseum for Ben-Hur again. They would just CG the entire thing,
Right? Yeah.
like they did recently,
or like
right?
set extensions.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of thought it was interesting how this movie does the opposite of what All the President's Men does or did with how it kind of portrayed the media. Like All the President's Men held the media up on a pedestal, being like, this is
but these
important.
ones were like, fuck the media. Media's a bunch of
This
sharks.
is like the media's controlled. Not all of them. They're the boys were doing good.
Well, I had a moment where
but-
I thought maybe that she was going to screw him over.
Oh,
Which
wow.
one?
When she,
His secretary?
Saunders.
Really?
Yeah. Because there was the moment where like they started running back and all fucking doing the whatever they what do they call it? They kept screaming out the name. They were like running out of the room, and she went back with her buddy there that she was going to marry or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I had a fleeting moment that like, oh, is she just doing this to like get the story? But then that's like just my evil internal dialogue because she's in love with him. And then she said that line. I was like, oh, cool. She's cool. She's good. She's got his best interest
I feel
at heart.
scared for you, Tease. I didn't think that once, but you seemed more into that, and that would be
I was going to be miserable.
That would have been crushing.
I was like, I could feel the pit growing. I was like, oh my God, no, the shoe's dropping. Oh my God. And then, anxiety.
Yes, give me the
I'm good.
happies, please.
Oh, the happies. I love the happies.
There was like a good
that
portion
kinda
of this
shit.
movie where I was like, this movie better end with a happy ending.
Yeah, with a
Otherwise, I'm
happy
going to be
ending, yeah.
pissed.
If this dude gets shot on the seventh floor, I'm going to lose my mind.
If
you
they
know?
like carry him out of here on their backs like Spider-Man 2 style and just like throw him down the stairs and that's the end of the movie, I'll be extremely unhappy. But luckily it didn't happen.
Thank God it didn't happen.
Yeah. One of the funniest parts of the movie. It was kind of bad, also kind of hilarious. He runs around Washington, D.C. punching random people in the face.
How did he get away with that? I loved it.
No,
that was awesome.
I thought he was like. I first thought that must have been a dream. Like he was just envisioning himself doing it because it seems so silly. And how do you get? You don't get away with assault even back then.
No, it's great,
you know?
especially as
Back
a
then,
senator.
sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
True.
It's freaking Jimmy Stewart. Who's going to arrest him?
They're just gonna like all make fun of him. Then they'll all gang up on him and corner him and just laugh at him.
A weird thing about that is like those types of scenes back in the day were directed by people who were called montage directors.
As a specialty.
Specialty, for real.
Yeah, I do hit and see. I do the hitting. You had somebody do hit and get George. He does the hitting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
They gave him like a portion of the script and we're like, all right, we're going to zip past this part. It's going to be a montage. It's up to you, dude. Here's the style we're going for. Here's the other footage we have. Make it look the same, but Frank Capra's not going to be there for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange? Like that wasn't,
Yeah.
no director ever did a montage and also did the rest of the movie. It was a completely separate thing and they were just
Weird.
stick 'em
That was
together.
just their thing that
That's
they did.
strange.
Yeah.
And it was a strange part of the film. I forgot about it because it just seemed incongruous with everything else. Well, not entirely, but it just seemed silly. It seemed like a strange.
Yeah, I agree. The beginning seemed silly, but it really transitioned back into the movie really well when he like went into the bar. Don't you
Oh
think?
no,
And,
that
like,
was a good scene. No, that was a good
but
scene.
that was the end of the
I-
montage. It wasn't like
Right.
a little
Right.
like weird thing in the middle. It like transitioned out of it pretty
Right. No, but him
smoothly.
just going and punching all these guys
Yeah.
was just
Hey,
strange.
I thought it was fantastic. I was loving it.
Yeah.
I
It
was
was pretty
just,
funny.
Get him, fucking yeah.
Who is that guy?
Over
He's just
here.
reading it? Yeah, fuck that
Yeah,
guy.
left and
Punch him.
right. Look at him go, motherfucker, my man. Get him. Oh, uppercut? Hell, he
How
uppercutted
does he
him.
track them all down?
And
My
I was
God,
like, shit,
that's
man,
like-
he's running up on all of these fools.
Well, I don't
no
think
problem.
They weren't the reporters. I think it was just people laughing at him in the paper, some of them.
Oh, anybody? Oh, I thought it was a
Anybody laughing at him.
Yeah.
I thought
Period.
he did some pinpoint research there. And
Nah,
met
he's
and
just
got
running
each of
around.
the
He's like, oh,
authors.
there's one. Boom.
He was in a
Punch.
rage.
Yeah.
That's the best part of
right.
it. He's like,
You
what do you
just
think
happened
is
to come
funny?
across him.
Bang.
Yeah, boom. I got you. I'm James Stewart. Fuck you. Loved that.
Yeah. I bet he would be a good boxer. He'd have a good reach over a lot of people, just like bopping him on the head.
He'd certainly have a good look while he was doing it. He had the most evil face going when he was punching. And he was just, punching the air, too, right?
I was thinking of Dave Chappelle, Rick James sketch, but instead it's James Stewart. I'm James Stewart.
I'm James Stewart, bitch. And he says it in like that old white, like, see? I'm James Stewart, bitch, see? Meh.
You wouldn't say bitch, though. He'd say something very appropriate.
I'm James Stewart, buddy.
Ma'am.
Or, gee, Will. Gee, what did he say? Gee, gee whiz. Gee whiz, I'm James Stewart. I thought the gee whiz was like, oh, man, the old times were so strange with that.
Yeah. What did you guys think about the kid actors in this movie?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And did they really do that? Were there little kids that were in the Senate that would run around and put fucking notes to people?
So that entire Senate set, there's a bunch of funny stuff about this. They went to the actual Senate and filmed it, took pictures, and they built it per specification. That is as nearly exactly to scale as they could take from the pictures and things like that, which is pretty damn close. They had the same inscriptions on all the wood, the same type of furniture. They had it all made for that set, which is fucking crazy. And I can't imagine the size of that room. It's going to be like an airplane hangar inside there.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, so like that was a set, and most of the movie was filmed on sets, but obviously all of the like Lincoln Memorial and, on set Washington Monument, whatever stuff was filmed on location. And the Parks Department, who's responsible for the Lincoln Memorial site, didn't want them filming there. So what they did is they told them they were going to try to film at a bunch of other places. So they had the people on duty running around. And when the people were like, I guess at like the Washington Monument or somewhere else, they would run to the Lincoln Memorial, set up and shoot guerrilla style until they started coming. And then they would pack up and leave and then drive around and like distract them and then zip back and like take footage as they could against, I don't know if it's the law, but like against the people who are responsible for the park.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like they shot it guerrilla style, which is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, because this is a big budget Hollywood movie.
That's fucking strange.
Yeah. And it didn't seem rushed. Like one of the best scenes of the movie was when Saunders finds Jimmy Stewart like crying kind of like on his briefcase about to leave at the Lincoln Memorial. And that they took their damn time there, it seemed like. It didn't seem like they were panicked or anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You guys got any topics to talk about when I'm going through my notes?
What?
Not really.
You guys ever had that Louisiana hot sauce? It's pretty good.
No, actually. Is it that good?
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
that what it's called?
For a while, I've been like straight Tabasco, and now I moved over to Louisiana hot sauce. It's pretty good.
Is that what it's called? Just Louisiana
I
hot
don't like
sauce?
Tabasco.
Yeah, it's called. Oh, well, you might not like.
I'm a
this. More-
Cholula or a
Yeah.
Tapatio kind of guy.
Well, Louisiana is a bit more vinegary. This episode brought to you by Louisiana hot sauce.
Ooh, vinegar.
Yeah, vinegar spice to it. It's good. I use it on all the things.
We're
now.
eating the
Really,
Louisiana
it's
hot
the best hot sauce that I've had. I just, I just out of nowhere just want to let you guys and our listeners know that.
Oh, well, thank you very much, John.
It's probably
We
why
really
you're sick,
appreciate it.
John.
What? It clears your sinuses too.
Ah. John's over there with wasabi, fucking hot sauce. He's got fucking ginger. He's got everything you can think of. Let's clean the sinuses. I'm good.
Yeah. Doing what I can.
I'm throwing up, uncontrollably, but,
I
it's
can
not
breathe.
the sick. I can breathe. Exactly. It's all worth it, man. I can breathe.
All right, fall on commentary time. I mean, we've kind of been in commentary. I got a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, go.
Sorry, I was trying to fill the gaps here, there, Denny.
You guys are doing a very good job.
Good.
Yeah,
Just
so the original ending, went beyond what we saw, but they had a bunch of stuff shot and they actually showed it to test audiences. They actually went back to his home state. Saunders met his mother. There were implications that they were going to get married. There was a parade for them. There was some shots of them destroying the bad guy's floats and things, saying that he was done pretty much. His dad's old friend got redemption. He went and said he accepts his apology and all this shit. That kept it went on for a while afterwards, and test audiences did not like it, so they just cut it out.
Because I wanted more. I wanted to see what happened next. I was like, it just seemed so. They just carried him off, passed out, saying that he's going to live. But man, I kind of want to know what happened next.
Wasn't that kid's thumbs up the best?
Yeah.
When he looked up and he gave her this really nice thumbs up. He's good. He's that's dead almost right now. I don't care what you think's going on. That guy's dead. He's great. No, he's dead. I don't care.
He's dead.
Someone took a finger and dipped it in a glass of water and started sticking their finger in his ear.
What, really?
Yeah.
The real Wet Willie.
I didn't quite catch that. That's it. Yeah, Wet Willie to wake
There was
him
a
up.
lot of people grabbing him when he passed out, but that was what one person was doing.
Wow.
Maybe that was an old tactic.
Maybe.
Yeah. So a thing that Frank Capra invented or something, like a tactic he did out of necessity, but it became a tactic, was back in the day, to save money, studios would only let you print one take. So if you wanted to get like whatever daily, the equivalent of dailies were back in the day, you only had one take of a scene or a shot to do that with, because they were trying to save money on film. So what Frank Capra did is, the way the cameras were is they could tell if you stopped a take and started a take again. Like there was something, I don't know, some way you could tell. So you couldn't get away with just like rolling the tape, stopping it, setting up again, doing it again. So what Frank Capra did was he'd set up a scene so it could be reset really quickly. Like the exit scenes and the entry scenes or whatever would be at the same location. So he'd do a take and then they'd end the scene, like the scene would be done and he'd be like, go again. And they would just like do it again immediately. And he'd do it 3 times every time.
Nice.
So he could get away with printing 3 takes. And he found that by doing it 3 times, the 3rd time, every time was the best, because everyone was like,
isn't that the slogan? 3rd time's a charm?
maybe.
Well, yeah, there you go.
They didn't
From
mention that as like, I don't know where that comes from, but
Apparently from this guy.
maybe. But yeah, it was like, you can only do 3 takes because the film was only that long for like a lot of the scenes.
Right.
But he did that all the time. And he's like, I use the 3rd take every single time, because people got like into the scene, they got comfortable with the lines. And by not calling cut and by not letting them reset and think about it, just having them just do it again, like immediately do it again. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty common rule here now too. So
Do they do that? Do they just like rapid fire?
oh yeah, I mean, especially the indie stuff where you don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of time in the day. You don't have the people. You can't pay them more than the 8 to 10 hours. So yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You got to move.
Then the big budget
I mean,
stuff, you need everyone to be in the right spot
The
exactly.
big budget stuff, you can fucking, take some more time. But like, yeah, the people that are paying the stuff out of their own pocket and they're like just trying to make film. Yeah, it's 3 takes. It's probably all you're getting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times too, actually, now that I'm thinking about it more, sorry to interrupt. but
No, go for
a
it.
lot of times too, I think you've already picked the scenes that you want to spend time on. Because since you like figure out all the scenes you're going to shoot, and then you're in your day, like, okay, day 1, we're going to do these shots and they're going to be not that important. So we're only going to do 3 a take. And then you do that big scene that you need. That's the most important scene of the film. Obviously you spend more time on that day there and you can have more takes. But if you're doing like, moving shots or something, just, traveling from one thing to the next, obviously you're not going to do more than a couple takes, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
I think now then it's probably even more impressive to like think that he was just doing it no matter what. Like that was his routine. Now you're probably more pointed at when you're doing that idea versus not. And you don't even need to care because it's all digital. So like you could do 20.
Yeah. It's like what the
That's
first
like-
5 takes were bullshit. We're running out of camera space. Just overwrite those. Who cares about
Yeah,
those?
right. Or not, just like fucking pop in a new card. Fuck it. I mean, really, like, so yeah, it's kind of impressive, really, to think that.
Do people just
back
have
then,
bandoliers of SD cards on set these days?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Even audio, like when I was in audio, I had all SD cards. It never filled up because they're so good now.
Yeah, they're huge.
For the red cameras, stuff like that, I mean, yeah, you're swapping out cards quite a bit. Yeah, the cards, that's like, yeah, give it to the DIT. DIT starts loading it up, organize it all. You're already on to the next card.
Make sure to mark your little
Everything's
card
moving.
there. Otherwise, you're fucked.
It's all marked. Oh, yeah, it's all marked.
Yeah.
It's all marked. And it's usually marked within the metadata in the camera.
Oh,
So
that's good.
It's not, yeah, I mean, it's.
But if you
all
want to go
digital, so-
thumbing through like 100 little drives, that's probably got to have a little marking on it, maybe.
Oh, well, they don't. Well, so like the next thing is you put them into one big, array of drives.
Ooh.
So you don't have to thumb through anything.
Just
Like,
all
that's what the
different
DI
drives in the computer.
That's what the DIT's job is to like assemble it all so that it's easily accessible.
Huh.
Especially once you get into dailies, right? We're like that now. Like I know that where we work, dailies are just put on like a system. Like it literally gets shot and it gets uploaded instantly, and then the people, the like producers, and then all the other stakeholders can review them at the end of the day. Literally, no matter where they are. Sometimes if they have access to internet.
Fucking technology, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the 3 take rule like isn't as crazy as I'm thinking about it, because like back then you really had to like plan for that. Now you're just like, fuck it. We got space, we got time.
Sure.
It's pretty cool how like people with almost no money can make movies if they try hard enough and have like a large.
I don't know if I agree with that 100%.
I mean, you could make a movie. It might be.
I mean, you
shitty.
can make a thing.
You couldn't,
but I wouldn't call it a
before.
movie.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, yeah, sure, you can. You know,
I don't know. You've seen Paranormal Activity, right?
no, I know, but I guess like equate it to like a song, right? You've heard the same five progression, the chord progression song, right? Like anyone can do that. Is it a good song? No.
I don't know. I mean, did you not like Paranormal Activity?
I mean, Paranormal Activity was cool. That was also during a time of that, like, you know.
That movie was made for $11,000.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, that's cheap. But like,
it's almost free compared to other movies.
Like, how many times does that fit? Like, that, it just seemed to work with that story.
Yeah,
to do it that way. Like, I mean, you're not going to have that option most of the time.
Right,
you're
but
going to write a narrative.
certainly, yeah. I don't know.
That just fit. Like, it was a good. Like, it wasn't just a good budgetary movie. Like, that's a movie that was thought out to keep it cheap.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Agreed. The found footage stuff is definitely easier, cheaper.
Yeah. Right.
So speaking of shooting, the cameraman Joe Walker in this movie, he invented the zoom lens.
What? Really?
Yeah. He was a cinematographer on this movie. His name is Joe Walker. Not the camera zoom lens, the film camera zoom lens. I think there's a difference there. He at least invented the film camera zoom lens. The last piece of trivia I have was that Frank Capra was the head of the Directors Guild back then, and it wasn't as good as it is now because Frank Capra changed the entire thing. There was going to be a big strike the year this movie was coming out because a lot of directors were not getting paid enough. In the golden age of Hollywood, the producers were the only people making money. The actors and the directors and everybody else was getting paid shit. And the reason that at least the directors get paid a lot now is because of Frank Capra back here, or back in 1939 or 38 was when it was going on, threatened to boycott the Academy Awards, even though his movie was like this big movie was coming out. So it was like a conflict he had of like, I need to promote this movie. I need to make money with this movie or I won't be a director anymore, or stand with the directors and like fight for money from the producers. And he chose the second one and they won and they were allowed to form a guild and now they get paid way too much money.
Yeah, right.
He seems like a pretty cool guy.
He does. And even like his dark movies like this one have a light side to him, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's true. That's a
like
good
there's
point.
suicide attempt in this one. There's a suicide attempt in It's a Wonderful Life. That's one of the most uplifting movies ever. And there's a guy trying to kill himself.
I'm really interested. I know that I just wonder how much of it is him working with his actors in terms of like when they're hating each other on set, or if it's just really some of these actors are really like good at what they're doing. Both in It Happened One Night and this one, I'm just still really, it's really amazing. And I just wonder what the interplay was there that you can get the sense like of these actors really working well together on screen, even if they're not getting along off screen. And how much of that is his doing.
What his son says is a lot of it is to do with how he structures the movie. There are scenes in every single one of his movies, which are his son called, and I'm sure his father called them, getting to know you scenes. The introduction of every character in this movie has one of those. Like if you think back to when Des and Saunders are like in the office, even before they meet Jimmy Stewart, they're just fucking around and they're talking about like how he should comb his hair. And he's like, well, will you like go on a date with me or something like that? And she's like, not looking like that. And he's like, well, then why would I want to comb my hair? And he like lays back down on the couch. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. But after that scene,
it's like an opener.
Yeah, you like them after that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that's it.
So a tiny little bit of character development before the character actually starts to develop.
Starts to be in the plot.
As far as the plot is concerned, right?
Yeah. So he does that with all of his characters all the time. And I think that has a lot, like, you don't need to be as good of an actor or an actress when that happens because you're already, like, you have to fuck it up after you already like somebody because of, like,
that's right.
how they,
I
guess it has to do with the acting and the directing and the way it's written and everything like that, I guess. I don't know. But those scenes are pretty important to him, at least.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
That's good.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Frank Capra and Jimmy Stewart were friends for life after this movie.
Fucking A, you damn right they would be.
They were, which is nice. That's
Gee whiz, you want to make another movie?
Oh, wow. You see, that's the Capitol building.
That's the Capitol building. Wow.
TC, this 1939 black and white movie, 80 years old. Would you put it in the top 250 movies ever made?
Damn right I would.
Would you put it in the top 100 movies ever made?
Put it in the top fucking 10, guys.
Yeah.
Whoa.
John,
Yeah.
would you? I mean, think about it. This
I
movie is
love this
old
movie.
as fuck. It is
Yeah.
super enjoyable and relevant. How is that possible?
I know. No, that's stunning. I mean, it's amazing.
It is.
Will it
I
ever
think for
age?
it to be-
I mean, once this country goes away, it won't make very much sense because people are like, "What is this giant room and why are they
Right.
doing this?"
But
like,
until that happens,
Yeah.
then no.
when everything's
Yeah.
a dictatorship, it will not make sense at all, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, right now, it is amazing how relevant it feels more relevant than ever.
yeah,
Right.
So,
Yep.
well, I'm not
Yeah.
that I can say that I wasn't around back then. So,
yeah, but
Well, no,
more-
but the story can still, yeah.
most relevant old movie we've watched easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would
Well,
say.
think about how when you saw Network and you thought it was amazing how in the 70s they predicted some of this stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
this
Now
doesn't
we went back
predict
even
anything.
further.
This just shows exactly what's happening.
Oh,
well, it
no, I
predicts
know,
it
but
in a way
yeah.
that's like not on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
But Network, like things weren't. I still think Network was crazy because like things weren't happening yet, and it was like this is gonna happen, and then it did.
No, it was more specific in a way, I guess you could say. Like, but I don't know. I just think it seems like it's timeless, and I don't know.
Maybe because it got lucky, the movie got lucky, and the rest of us very unlucky that just nothing changed in this one particular
Fair enough, right.
shot in
but
what's
we
going
like
on.
Yeah.
to think that we also like to think that things used to be really good, and in a way, it's almost reassuring to be like, nah, it's always been
It's always
pretty
sucked.
corrupt.
Yes.
yeah, right,
and,
right.
and we're
You
still
don't feel
around.
so bad. Like this Trump shit's just a blip in the fucking
We
existence.
still survived, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the uplifting point of the movie. That like somehow we can still prevail. I don't know. It's pretty cool. That is also very hopeful.
Yeah, and the whole moral of like, even though there might be horrible things in the world, it's not. Don't like turn away from it and just walk away and be like, "What can I do?" You got to try. That's it.
Yeah,
right.
if there's such power that no matter that they can convince everybody or else just about around you that you are exactly not who you are, that you still don't give up and you still can prevail. That's pretty. That's powerful.
On that note,
That's right.
Good night,
That's
everybody.
pretty much
What are we
it.
doing next
Yeah.
week?
Ah, fuck you.
yeah.
Thanks, Timmy.
Thanks,
Good to hear from you.
Yeah, he still lives. He's in there somewhere.
Timmy's as happy as ever, liking old
Oh, yeah.
movies. So next week, guys, we're watching the second oldest movie on the list.
Yeah, and
Yeah. Oh, there's not less of a reaction than I expected.
yeah, because
Hey, TC's in a good mood these
I'm on
days.
a high
Yes.
note. I'm on a high
He's-
note.
Yeah.
So this is a Charlie Chaplin movie. It's called Gold Rush, and it was made in 1925.
Oh,
Nice.
even older.
Older, starring, written by, and directed by Charles Chaplin. A prospector goes to the Klondike in search of gold and finds it and more.
So we're gonna have like text slates.
That's a
in there and
hilarious
everything?
sentence and gives away the movie, I think.
What, more? How could there be more?
That's it.
Glad we watched this one.
Yes.
I will be telling other people to watch it.
Sometimes
If
the
they have
list comes through.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for listening. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com, where we have our list frozen. You can see our upcoming episodes. I think we're planning on going a run here of actually doing the list episodes. Is that right, guys?
Really? Possibly.
Sure.
Really? John
TC
has
can-
separate ideas like, over there, apparently.
Yeah, sure.
TC can think of a movie he wants us to watch. We can go for it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Um,
thinking. So I'm thinking, even though I don't know what you guys will think about this, but I was listening to the soundtrack the other day, and I'd like to watch Eternal Sunshine.
That's on the
If
list.
it's on, it's on
That's
the
on the
list.
list,
Yeah. Oh,
dude. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't have to
It's
fucking pick it.
Pretty
Oh,
high
yeah.
up, too.
Okay, well then I'll pick another one. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of I cannot wait for that one.
Yeah, that's
fucking
high
great.
on the list.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll pick another one then. I just figured it wouldn't be because honestly, this is where my brain went.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
If
this
it's
list
good,
is terrible.
It can't be on the list.
So this exactly right. I was like, there's no way that movie's on the list because that movie's fantastic.
That movie
So-
is in color and is entertaining,
It's
so
in
it can't
color,
be on the list.
and it was recent, and it has Jim Carrey finally doing a serious role. There's no way it's on this list.
yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't do any research, and I'll pick another one.
So
All
we
right,
can talk
cool.
about this next week, but there are 2 Kurosawa movies in a row after
Ooh.
Gold Rush.
Ooh.
So I don't know if that'll be too much or
Maybe-
it might be good to watch both of them back to
Might be
back.
good, but maybe we should
Might be
break.
good.
I don't know. We'll see. We can break it up if we want. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we'll
like the Kurosawa movies we've seen so far, but good.
Yeah.
I think we've seen 1, 2, 1.
Don't remember.
We saw Throne of Blood.
Throne of
Okay.
Blood. I like
Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen another one? Maybe not. Maybe that was it.
So those are 2 are probably long then, huh?
Ron is the first one, and that one is, long.
Oh boy.
And then
Had a feeling.
Yeah.
Too long to speak of.
Kiru, which is the second one, is shorter, but still pretty long.
All right.
Great.
One's 3 hours, one's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
3 hours.
Yeah, buddy. These movies are supposed to be fucking great,
Wow.
though. So, we'll
Okay,
see.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good sign then.
No, it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's good, I guess 3 hours isn't that bad.
Yeah. All right, cool. Next week, we'll watch that one, we said.
The General.
The
right?
General. No, Gold Rush.
The
Gold Rush.
General.
Don't watch The
God.
General again. Don't do it.
Don't ever watch The General.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. And that's it. Easy.
All
That's
right.
it, guys.
Later, dudes.
All right.
Till
See
next
ya.
week.